Welcome to the demonstration of the Dell EMC Validated System for Virtualization. In this chapter, we're going to look at how, using an automation platform called Active System Manager, customers can very quickly and easily manage the firmware compliance and update multiple systems with the latest firmware just with few simple clicks. Before we get into the actual demo, I'm sure all of us at one time or the other in our career would have gone through the nightmare of troubleshooting for several hours before realizing an issue is related directly to a recent firmware update done by another team or a team member without really providing the awareness to everybody around. Industry as a whole obviously understands that managing firmware compliance is an extremely important requirement. Also, who likes doing firmware updates? They're, especially manually, they are time consuming and often error prone. Let us see in the demonstration how Active System Manager makes it really simple for customers to manage and update their firmware across multiple different systems. So in this example, we're taking a 4-node Dell Validated System for Virtualization, which is based on vSAN. Because you have ASM in the environment, the first thing it does, it flags that system is out of compliance. Now, if you remember, when we deploy the system, we actually baseline this against a specific firmware. Not only it tells you that it's out of compliance, but it also shows you why specifically it is out of compliance. So it looks at every host that is part of that cluster, shows every component that is part of it, and shows what is the current version that is on the device and what is the expected version that should be on that device. Now, once you know that is out of compliance, you obviously want to take an action to ensure and remediate it back and make sure that it's compliant again. For that, it also gives you the option to update the server firmware. So you select that option, then you can either update it right away, or either you can update that at the next boot timeline, or you can actually schedule the update for that to happen at a specific period of time. Now, once I ask it to do the update, it goes off and starts the process in the back end to orchestrate various different items to ensure that you're doing a dependency-aware non-disruptive update. Now, what do I mean by that, right? Well, when you're doing an update on a host, you certainly have existing workloads that are running on that host. So you want to make sure that you work with the vCenter APIs, put that host in the maintenance mode, evacuate all the VMs that are running, as you're seeing in the vSphere web client here, and you're also seeing that. That after it's migrated those virtual machines, it's going to reboot that host, and at that time, it's going to go and actually update the firmware. So as you can see, after the update, it's actually going and updating running those packages to actually update the BIOS and RAID and stuff like that. And once it's actually done with the update process, it's going to go back and reboot the host, get the operating system up and running, and then work with the vCenter to basically bring back the host back from maintenance mode. So now that it restarted the host with the updated firmware, it's, as like I said before, it's going to put the host in the, it's going to take the host back from the maintenance mode, and then obviously refreshes ASM and shows the service as compliant since the update has actually successfully happened. As you can see here, it's able to flag that there's a compliance issue. Then it's able to update it as well to bring it back from what is the desired state configuration of that service. This completes the presentation. Thanks for watching.